Welcome to the Manifest Mental Health Podcast. I'm your host, Taylor Smith, certified spiritual life coach and NLP practitioner, bringing you all things motherhood, manifestation, and mental health. This podcast is for you if you're ready to expand your consciousness and stop losing your shit. Whether you're a mom like me out here trying to break generational curses, or you just want to learn how to take better care of your mind, body, and soul, you're in the right place. It's time to break free from your depression and anxiety and start creating a reality that you don't want to escape from. Let's go manifest mental health. Hey you guys, welcome back to the podcast. So on this episode, I'm going to share with you about my first attempt at manifestation and how it sent me to jail. Do not try this at home, you guys. So let me start by telling you, the first time I even heard about manifestation, I was living in the streets. My parents had been letting me live with them maybe a month before that, but then my dad called the police on me this one time, and I told the police to stop killing my black friends to their face. You'll have to listen to that episode. But so my dad was like, "Get your white ass out of here." And so I was back on the streets, and it was cool. I didn't want to live with my family because we were always arguing and they were always calling the police on me. This was a repeating pattern in my life. I was actually manifesting that happening. So I was living on the streets, but I missed my period. And so I'm thinking maybe I'm pregnant. Maybe I should stop doing hard drugs. And so I hit up one of my friends that didn't do hard drugs, but that I used to live in their trap house, and they would get pounds of weed sent in the mail to the house that I lived in. So it was from a different stage of my journey, but they didn't do the hard drugs. So I was like, let me go back. Let me take this back a little bit. And they picked me up and they were giving me a ride. And they had this new Challenger, with these red leather seats. It was super nice, and a bunch of weed. And he was talking about the law of attraction and about how you can speak shit into existence and about manifesting things. And I was like, I mean, you see somebody you haven't seen in a few years and their whole life is different. And I was like, maybe that shit works. Something's working for them. And so I was like, they had to go back to Memphis, and I had him drop me off at my nanny's house, even though they didn't want my white ass there. I was like, oh, let me try this shit out. I'm going to speak this into existence. I'm going to make them let me live there. And so I'm knocking on my nanny's door, and I'm like, hey, nanny, I think I'm pregnant, and I need to live here. And she was like, Taylor, you're lying. But she did let me in. And so I go to her freezer because I'm coming down off dope. It's been maybe a week or two since I'd done any dope. But whenever you come down off dope, you want to eat everything. So I'm in her freezer and I'm eating. I ate 2 ice cream sandwiches as soon as I walked in. And she's like, Taylor, you're not pregnant. You're just fat. I went the fuck off. I was like, no, this is what I'm speaking into existence. This is what's going to happen. You're going to stop calling me fat. You're going to start treating me like a fucking human being. And you're going to let me live here because I am pregnant and I don't want to be out here in these streets anymore. It didn't really feel aligned for me, to be watching people shooting up when I, thought I could potentially be growing a life inside of me. It just didn't feel right. And so I, told my nanny she's going to let me live there. And she called my Aunt Tammy over there. Because my nanny's old. She wasn't really trying to go back and forth with me like that. But my Aunt Tammy, she was. She was like, your nanny is 75 years old and you're not going to come in this house bringing problems into her life like this anymore. And you need to get out, walk if you have to. You need to leave. I didn't have any minutes on my phone. I had no way to contact anyone to even come and get me. And I just got out of the shower. I had on this big t-shirt and some underwear. And she was we were like yelling back and forth at each other. I was telling her, mind your own business. I actually like watched the video. She made a video of me whenever we were having this altercation because she wanted to show the police. And I watched it and I was like, holy shit, Taylor. Holy shit. Because, yeah, I went the fuck off. Like, I had no control over my emotions. I was so pissed, like, that they couldn't just treat me like a human. And it was because, like, I had honestly done a lot of bad things. Like, I remember, like, I wrote some checks in my nanny's name and cashed them because I felt like my family owed me. Like, they pressed these charges against me and I was facing prison time and I felt like my life was over because of them and that they owed me for that. And I don't know, it created this fucked up mentality in my mind, like where I could write a check in my nanny's name. And so clearly they didn't want me back in their house. And I get it now. But that version of me, the unhealed version of me, only saw things from my point of view. And I was like, no, you're not going to keep treating me like this. And my nanny was like, what if the Lord could see you right now? I said, I am the Lord. Because my friend had been telling me about how we are gods. And I was so in like a fight or flight, a fight response. I was like just so fed up with the way they talked to me, the things they said to me, that shit hurt no matter what I did. Like the things they said to me really hurt. And deep down, like I loved them and I wanted them to accept me. But anyways, my Aunt Tammy and me were like yelling back and forth at each other. And she's telling me to walk and I'm telling her, no bitch, go home, mind your own business, take care of your own kids. I'm like going off on her, telling her like, I want to beat your ass. I was like, I will kill you with kindness. Threw the kindness in there because I was like, she's not going to press some kind of terroristic threatening charge against me. But like I was like this in her face with my finger. And she did press charges on me. So she called the police there and she showed them the video. And it only made me want to be crazier when she put me on the video. I was like, you think you're trying to video me being crazy? I'm going to show you crazy, bitch. And I did. I went crazy. And the police, like, were searching my stuff. They found a weed pipe. And they took me to jail for terroristic threatening and paraphernalia charge. And so I'm on the way to jail. I'm crying. And like I've got my 2 duffel bags they've been pilfering through trying to make sure that there weren't any drugs in there. And I'm just like looking at the state of my life and like feeling like such a victim of my life. Like, why does my family keep sending me back to jail? Why does this keep happening to me? But then I said, I was telling the cop, I'm like, I really trust God and I think maybe he's sending me to jail for a reason. Maybe did you need to hear about God today, sir? And I'm like, well, maybe there's some inmates in there that I need to be telling about God. Because, I was acting crazy, but like, I did have a relationship with God and I did want to be a better person. It was just like in those moments where I was triggered, all that shit went out the window. Because you're in the fight or flight. You're in the fight response. And you're not trying to obey the 10 Commandments in that moment. But so I'm on the way to jail. I'm telling the cop that. I'm crying. And then they take my mugshot. It's awful. Because like I've been crying. I have this huge zit on the side of my face. And I remember the guard telling me like, Taylor, you look horrible. You look worse than any of the other times we've ever seen you at jail. What is wrong with your face? Because I don't know, like I used to have really bad cystic acne. And that was one of the reasons, like, I would quit doing drugs and it would still be there. I'll be like, I'm going to look like I do drugs. If everybody's going to tell me that I'm on drugs, then I'm just going to do them anyway. But anyways, so the guards, they send me to the population. Anyways, I'm in jail. I take a pregnancy test in jail. And it's positive. I'm like, I don't know how to feel about this. I don't know who my baby's dad is. But then I just decided in that moment I'm going to be happy about it. I'm going to be happy because like it's the only thing I have to be happy about in my whole entire life. But I started sending my mom all these emails on Smart Jail Mail they have this kiosk in the jail where you can like write your relatives. You have to add money to it. And I was sending her all these emails in all caps, like, bitch, you were grounded from seeing your grandchild, and I really am pregnant. And guess what else? It's a white baby, and you can't see it. Because I knew they didn't care about seeing me anymore at that point of their life. My mom had my phone number blocked for like 2 years, and I get it. I get it now. I wouldn't have wanted to hear from me either. But I was sending her all these like hate mail, like, it's your fault that I'm fucked up like this. Like, you reproduced with somebody who had mental illness in their family. I'm just like going off on her and mainly telling her like, you cannot see your grandchild. And and then at the same time, I'll be like, you need to get me out of here. I can't believe you're going to let me be pregnant in jail and sleeping on these hard beds. And just, I wanted them to get me out. And I don't know why I thought like cussing her out would do something about it. It was really, I would be nice and then she would say no, and so then I would cuss her out. But, so anyways, I'm in the jail, and I've decided, like, I'm going to be happy about this baby. And I'm, like, walking around in there in my orange jumpsuit, and I'm rubbing my belly, and I'm like, me and my baby are ready to get out of here. I'm going to get back to speaking this shit to existence. Me and my baby are getting out of here. But whenever I went to court, I pled not guilty because, you know, I told the judge, I said I did not hit her. I really wanted to hit her, but I did not. And so I'm not guilty. And so they put like a cash bond on me. If like I had a regular bond, you could pay like the 10%. And I knew like one of my friends would have came and got me out. But it was like $1,000 cash. So I had to sit my ass in there for probably, I think like 10 days. But I'm in there and I'm like rubbing my belly, and I've noticed people are nicer to you when they find out you're pregnant. So everything was like me and my baby. Me and my baby can't wait for breakfast in the morning. They would give me 2 milks. I don't drink milk now, but like it felt like a prize for me to be able to get something extra because I was pregnant in the jail. But there was this other girl in the jail who was, I don't know, hating on how happy I was about my baby. And she was like, your baby's not even going to make it. Because she like knew other people that I knew that did drugs, and like they told her that I'd shot up drugs before. And she told me that my baby wasn't going to make it because I used to shoot up drugs. I was so pissed. And like, but I knew that I probably could not beat her ass. So I just like, I just went to my cell, and the other girls were like going off on her for me. But the guard was like, there's some kind of altercation that's going on. And so we got separated. And we got sent to our cells, and the guard made us like write out on these pieces of paper about how we should treat others. And which was already what I was trying to focus on, is like, how can I be a better person? Like, how can I treat people the way God wants me to treat them? But it's hard to do when you're triggered. Anyways, so I was in there pouring my heart out about like, how do you expect me to treat people good when this is how people are treating me? Like, how does my family expect me to stop doing drugs when they're out here telling everybody I'm on drugs? And how just like, I don't know, I went off and was writing, and I remember crying because there was just so much inside of me that I needed to get out. I can't believe I had my first journaling practice in jail, but it was actually very therapeutic for me. And after I cried for maybe like 30 minutes, but then they finally let me out. And I remember feeling this sense of peace, like happy. I started socializing with the other girls in there that had taken up for me whenever that girl was like, your baby's not going to make it. And I was like playing cards. We were picking out baby names. I sent my mom an email and was like, never mind, don't get me out of here because I'm reading a really good book and I want to finish it before I get out, because it's bad luck if you don't finish the book that you're reading before you get released from jail. And I'll tell you, every time I went to jail, I did make sure I finished the book. Like, I remember this one time I was like, come back and get me. I got like 30 pages left. Just come back. And so I'm sitting in there like, I just accepted my fate. Like, And that's one of the first important parts of manifestation, is like accepting your current reality. I didn't know that at the time, but this is how manifestation was working for me. I accepted my current reality. I messaged my mom, like, don't come get me. I'm having fun in here. We had pancakes in the morning, and it's cool. It's cool. And she's, I know she was thinking I'm crazy. But the guard had got me to come take me to the nurse's office to get my prenatal vitamins. And I told her, thank y'all for letting me be homeless here. I needed somewhere to go. And like, it wasn't even the fact that I went to jail that was causing me suffering. It was like my victim mentality about being there. It was all these stories I was telling to myself in my mind about how I didn't need to be there. And once I like accepted my reality and made peace with it, I read in this Eckhart Tolle book, The Power of Now, to accept your current circumstances and like act like you've chosen them. And I did. I act like I had chosen it. I was like, I like it here. Thank y'all for letting me be homeless here. The guard just looked at me and laughed. The same guard that had told me like they'd never seen me look so bad ever out of all of the times she had seen me, which was a lot. I visited quite frequently. But she also told me after she read my journal entry, she was like, I can tell like that you've grown a lot as a person since the first time you came to jail. And I had, like, the first time I went to jail, it was like I was very selfish, and like I didn't believe in God then, and I was just like, fuck everybody, really. I wasn't a nice person at all. And like, I don't know, I know that going to jail changed me so much as a person. Like, it really separated me from that lifestyle that I was living, even though I didn't want to be separated. It was like what my soul needed. And so God took me away from the streets and placed me in a jail cell. Anyways, back to my story. That I decided I was going to be happy there. I loved it there. And I'm walking around like, me and my baby are so happy. We love it here. Me and my baby are so happy. I feel like I'm free already. And literally the next day, the judge got me on the docket. I wasn't supposed to be seen for another couple weeks, but I wrote him a letter. But they were telling me, all the other inmates were like, they don't even read those. You're not going to get seen. But it was like a miracle that I got called on the docket. And I'm telling him, sir, I'm not really guilty, but I do want to plead guilty because me and my baby are ready to get out of here. And he just laughs. He just laughs at me. And he's like, okay, well, we're going to give you time served and we're going to let you go today. And so I'm like walking back to my cell and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy. I did speak this shit into existence. But it's not about speaking shit into existence. It's about feeling things into existence. By feeling free, that's how I manifested my freedom. Whenever I was feeling like, fuck my family, the whole world's against me, I was manifesting situations that reinforced the way I was feeling because it was on the same vibration. But when I got on this vibration of I love my baby, I love where I'm at in my life, even though it was a fucking jail cell, I'm excited for what I'm having for breakfast in the morning. That is how I manifested my freedom. And it's like, I realized the real prison is the prison of our mind. It's not our current circumstances. It's all the stories that we're telling ourselves about our circumstances. And then, like, I was so happy to be released, and I didn't even want to talk to my family because I was like, they're not fucking up my vibe. So I walked to my friend's house who lived like 2 miles from the jail. And I was just like, there were butterflies on my path. It was a sunny day. And I was just like rubbing my belly the whole time like, oh my gosh, we're free now. We're free now. We did it. There is no better feeling than hearing Taylor Smith, get your mat. Let's go. It's like I stopped feeling like I was trapped, and then the universe set me free. But I was going around about manifestation completely wrong in the beginning. Like, trying to speak things into existence whenever you're in this vibration of fuck my life is not going to work for you. It's like looking at your bank account and being pissed off that you're broke and saying, fuck this, universe, give me some money now. That doesn't work. You have to shift your vibration. And a lot of that means you have to be cool with what's going on in your reality. Like, even if it does mean you're facing prison time or you're in a jail cell, no matter where life takes you, act like that you've chosen those circumstances. Because the thing is, your soul did choose those circumstances. And wherever life takes you, that's where you're meant to be. And when you can shift your perspective about it, that can help you shift all your thoughts about it. Like, I went from being like, fuck you, mom, you're never going to see your grandchild, to thank you for letting me be homeless here. And it's all about your perception. And when I shifted my thoughts, I shifted the feelings I was feeling, and that shifted my experiences. Because your experiences are a reflection of your vibration. So if you want to change your life, if you want to manifest a life that you're grateful for, you have to be grateful for the life that you have. You have to align with the vibration of love and gratitude if you want the universe to start giving you more things that you love and more things that you're grateful for. Okay, I want to say the story had a happy ending. My nanny let me come back and live with her, but I mean, it wasn't happy. It was like I was dealing with all of my fucking triggers. She kept calling me fat my whole entire pregnancy. But my family did like slowly start to accept me, and I would tell myself thoughts over and over. These were my first affirmations. I love my baby. I love my family. I love everyone and everything in the universe. I love my life. And oh my God, it felt like such a lie to say that at first, especially the I love my family part. Like, cause oh my God, I had so much resentment built up for all the times that they sent me to jail. But the more that I said those thoughts to myself, because I said them over and over and over again, it was like the more they became true. Like, I don't know, my relationships just gradually got better with my family. Like, my mom let me live with her after I had my daughter, and like, we have a really good relationship now. Like, they don't get me by any means. Like, whenever I'm talking about manifestation or any of my spiritual stuff, they like give me really weird looks. But I mean, they are glad that I don't do drugs anymore, and they're like amazing grandparents to my daughter. And I just feel like my whole reality has shifted because my perception of my reality has shifted. So if you're going to try to manifest something, I just don't want you to make the mistake that I made in the beginning of my journey, because you might get your ass sent to jail. But you might like it there. You might like it there. But let's hope you don't have to go. Let's hope you can just make peace with your present reality, because that's the key to creating a better future. Is coming back to the present moment and saying, hey, I like it here, no matter what the fuck is going on. Okay. All right, I just wanted to share that story with you because it was like really cool to reflect on it and see how the law of attraction is always working in our life, whether or not we realize it. It's like gravity. It's a universal law that is always applying itself to your life. Like, I used to have all these thoughts like, fuck my family, they keep sending me to jail. And so I kept creating experiences. I was manifesting that. But whenever I said, I love my baby, I love my life, I love my family, my life is getting better each and every day, it did get better. And it's just about, you do speak shit into existence, but it's about feeling things into existence too. And I just wanted to share that story with you because the law of attraction is working in your life whether or not you know it. So it's better to learn how it works and choose to shift your thoughts, shift your perception, and change the way you're feeling, because you are always manifesting. Always. You're always calling in more experiences that are on the vibration that you're existing at. Anyways, I love you guys. And if you like this podcast episode, if it helped you, if you know somebody that it could help to hear this, then share this on your stories, tag me, and also just like subscribe to the podcast so you can be notified whenever another episode is released. Anyways, I love you guys, and I hope you manifest some good shit and don't end up in jail like me.